sure we are live? Because it's still showing it. No, I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
it's not live. आपको streaming video से भी live करना होगा.
Yeah, ma'am. Like that. Now
Okay, fine. Because yeah, we are live. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, madam.
So the background, can it be the same background?
You can change it if you want.
Okay. No, actually, you will have to change it
No,
from
this
your
comes like
side.
this one. It's good, no? It's
Okay, sir, no problem.
yeah. We are in home, no? So
No problem, sir.
yeah.
So another a minute to go,
Yeah.
Vaishali.
yes, ma'am.
Hi, Ram.
Keep.
Hello,
So
sir.
virtually we can change the background. She doesn't have to move anywhere.
No, it is there. It is there. Unko, he need to select it basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. We can.
Yeah. Vaishali, you need to share the screen.
Yeah.
Home screen, and please be very attentive while we will deliver the speech, right? So you can go live. We are starting. It's 9:30.
Okay.
Are we
Yeah.
all good? Can we start?
Yes.
Should we wait for the attendees? Anybody join?
Basically, when we will start the webinar, then we can start seeing the attendees.
Okay.
So let us start the webinar. You need to enable Vaishali. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to the fireside chat on ransomware, underlying risks and solutions. Today, we will plan how to kill this threat and stop paying ransom for the crime never committed. The financial impact of ransomware is enormous. When you add the total remediation cost, including downtime, people time, device cost, network cost, lost opportunities, and ransom paid, the final sums are eye-watering. The recent cyber attack on the leading telecommunications service provider, Optus, is a huge wake-up call for everyone and is a reminder to start taking security seriously. Before we get into the session, let me talk about TSARO Labs. Founded in 2017, TSARO Labs Incorporation is a new age IT solutions company with operations in the Americas, the Middle East, and India. TSARO Labs' development approach provides stable, secure, and performant solutions with increased security uptake in prevention, detection, and resolution using agile practices and tools. With this, let us quickly take a peek into this message-giving video. Wow, that was amazing. Let Batman build caves furthermore. We have already entered the TSARO cave. Let me introduce Mr. Ram Panamaraju to you. Ram is the founder and chief executive officer of TSARO Labs. Being a globetrotter, Ram operates from both locations, India and US. His primary objective is to identify, ideate, create, execute, and monitor the computer-based security systems across industries like manufacturing, banking, finance, insurance, food processing, healthcare, etc. He is the most easily accessible CEO I have ever come across. Now let me introduce our second session stunner, Mr. Jyotibal Salaya. Jyotibal Salaya is the Deputy General Manager, Corporate Marketing, Data Center, Cloud, ERP, SaaS, Smart Energy Meters for Andhra Pradesh and Telangana states. He is an ambitious and result-oriented sales leader with sound judgment, good planning abilities, and interpersonal communication strengths with over 30 years of cross-functional experience in IoT marketing, smart cities, project management, e-governance, pre-sales, IT, and networking project. So before we get into the fireside chat, there is a quick announcement to the audience that you can post your thoughts in the chat box and questions in the Q&A box. We will address them all towards the end of the session. Also, we will do a quiz round. So the first right answer will get the Amazon gift voucher worth $30. So let us begin the fireside chat. Before that, I would like to welcome once again Mr. Ram and Mr. Jyotibal. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Signal. Good to be here.
Great. Great. So, are we good? Should we start with the fireside chat?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my first question to you, Ram, is in the context of Optus, what do you think went wrong? How the hack occurred and what to do to stop the next one?
Yeah, Optus is a real awakening. Very recently, we heard about it, and one of the main reasons that this turned out to be as a breach is because of non-updating of a certificate on the website which has access to all the customer data. Now that is the initial assessment. Still, there is a lot of investigation going on. Today, now we hear that the attacker has changed his view and has deleted all the data and has apologized for Optus and its customers. In lieu of some revelation. So, long story short. The reason for the update or the reason for the attack is because of some tech system that did not get that was not upkept.
Okay. All right. So, okay, in this context, Mr. Jyotibal, what in your view is the next for ransomware?
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah. See, ransomware by name itself, no, it's going to rob us as for ransom. Okay. For big ransom. Okay. See, it is evolving. It's evolving. It's a really advanced and complex threat. Okay. And every company is going to face. If you really look at it in a continuing to evolving environment, there are a few types, kind of an attacks we may foresee that. Like, there is a public cloud ransomware, okay, where you have cloud service providers like Microsoft, Amazon, Google. They service various people, actually. There are a lot of advantages in that. The companies need not to spend money on IT infrastructure, and it will be taken care of by the service providers like these people. But for the hackers, it's really easy. to penetrate and to get into the attack. That's going to cost a lot of time and money. And the another one is managed service providers. So the companies need not have specific IT specialist. So they look for these kind of services, and they get into these service providers with a with an understanding that no, they are safe, but it's not safe. The reason is for the hackers, no, they can attack easily a one MSPs, managed service providers, and they get quite a lot of companies for attacking, and that is another big threat. Okay, that we can say one attack, there are a lot of companies they can hack. Okay, so this is this is a major threat. Okay, and of course encryption free attacks, as we all know that the encrypting the file is a simple way of we think that we avoid the things. Okay, but cyber criminals they don't need to do that now. It is getting into a big mess out of it actually. So these are all the various situation we foresee that in future that it's going to be critical for all of us to concentrate actually. Thank you.
Great. So, Ram, that means every organization and every industrial sector is susceptible to ransomware attacks. So, since the ransom involved is so high, do you think even SMEs should worry about ransomware attacks?
Well, definitely yes. It's not, the size does not matter. It is the importance of the underlying reason. It can be data. But depends on where an attacker can lay their hands on. Definitely yes. In a recent study, if you see, there are 22% of the small businesses are generally attacked from a ransomware methodology, and most important, cybersecurity or is not a vertical per se, that it is going to affect only this particular kind of an organization or a specific domain, etc. This is domain agnostic. So it can impact the healthcare, it can impact manufacturing unit, immaterial of the scale. So definitely SMBs are a very big target because of the constraints that an SMB goes through. Lack of investments, lack of skilled resources. There can be many areas or varied reasons. And obviously for all these reasons, they become most easy targets, and they don't have all the kind of fancy tools or the required tools, etc., in order to contain and respond to it in a very mature manner. So definitely yes, an SMB is a very likely target.
Okay. So, Mr. Jyotivel, you spoke about new types of ransomware. We hear a lot about botnet attacks on IoT devices. So, are they the next big threat to enterprises?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very good question actually. See what happens when you talk about IoT. IoT is what? The miniaturizing the major our devices to a small this thing, and networking the various devices. Okay, let us talk about we are deploying let us say 10,000 cameras in a city like Bangalore or Hyderabad. What happens? The power is a key. Okay, so in the IoT, what they are doing is that they are just using the technology. They miniaturize the device itself and the power consumption. The biggest challenge is power consumption and networking actually. So this kind of evolution is happening continuously actually. So what happens? These smart devices, all interconnected devices, smartphones and computers are there. Okay, when these are all networked, it's very very easy. Now let's say 10,000 cameras to infect, it's a milliseconds actually. Okay, milliseconds we can do it, and that connected to a complete command and control systems center. Okay, complete state. You have this command and control center. It's very easy actually. Entire state can be blocked by a simple ransomware attack. It's gone. So only thing we will know from dashboard, it's gone. That's all. So how to prevent this? That is that is the thing we should worry about it actually. And the quite interesting thing and dangerous thing is that this botnet, when it is getting attacked, the botnet, this thing, whereas ransomware, it has a clear structure actually. The structure, when it is very, very clear, structured way it attacks, we should have robust systems to counter it actually. Okay. So we should follow a few, good practices actually. What are things? Let's say we talk about a lot of hygiene activities in our day-to-day life. Okay. It's applicable to, our official business life also. We should have good cybersecurity hygiene. We should adapt to it actually, very stringently actually. Okay. And there are you have multi-factor authentication. Okay. Adding multiple layers of authentications in IoT networks. So that is a very, easy to introduce also. These are all very basic things. And we have a stringent data security and privacy regulations. How do you ensure this actually? We should follow a proper system. Okay. Then you find about a customer identity and access management platform. This will help the customers and developers to practice a good, to identify the crucial things. Okay, what they are getting attacked actually. And there is going to be, very reliable. We'll have to incorporate the reliable, secure identity management solution or a platform that meet all the compliances what is required to protect our data. Okay, these are all a few things we have to think and then implement quickly to escape from such high-end attacks from ransomware actually. Thank you.
Great. So coming back to Ram, hearing so much about cyber attacks and their cost implication is quite scary. How do you think, Ram, that they can ensure our company to help cover the financial losses that result from cyber threats?
Very, very important question. And, it's not a straight answer. So there are multiple facets that needs to be taken into account. So we need to understand what happens when an attack takes place. So definitely there is going to be direct and indirect losses. So direct losses are going to be your non availability of your services to your customers, your as a non-operational you're not able to operate your business, and seizing of your data, whether it is financial or your intellectual property, theft of that data, information, data, all these are direct impacts. The indirect impacts are going to be your brand image, your value chain. So these are only some of them that you will a company is going to get impacted from an attack. It can be a ransomware attack or it can be a data breach. All roads lead to Rome, they say. So all these attacks, different kinds of attacks, are mainly the main reason behind it is going to be some sort of monetization aspects. So in lieu of that, the first thing what I always recommend, and this should be the mantra as well, to have not to panic and to have a plan for in such an event. What happens? What do we do? How do we respond? How do we understand what happened? Because if you really see from data, what we identify is that whenever, by the time we recognize that an organization has been attacked or impacted by any of these different methods, already we've lost 2 months. ideally it takes 60 days for an attack to be identified. So by then the attacker already has so much of penetration into the organization or the system network into the and has already taken what he's looking for. And post that whether it is a breach or a ransomware is even worse, because you're non-functional, you become non-functional. The attacker has already taken all the data that is required, or all the your IP related information that he's seeking for. There was an attack on on a company like Apple, stealing some of their IP information. So it doesn't matter big or small, everybody is susceptible, and it's definitely not a question of if, it's always a question of when. So first thing is, have a plan. There are many standard organizations like NIST from the United States, which have which have a guideline, which have a framework to help people how they can, or help organizations how they can recover from this, how they can prevent such a thing, how they can identify, and how should they respond, how they can mitigate. So all these things. So this is a constantly evolving space. A few years back, it was a different, it was a very simple, encryption. At that time, there was no sophisticated encryptions, etc. So, by the way, ransomware is not something new. This was, kind of in a very initial stages. It was, done for approximately somewhere around $100 or $180. So it's not something new. It's always evolving. The same thing I'm expecting that this will also evolve as we grow more and more with technology. Technology will always have good actors and bad actors, good users and bad users. So the same nuclear technology can power multiple countries. At the same time, the same nuclear technology can destroy the same countries as well. So it all depends on it's not that technology is bad, it's how we use it. That's one. Now, once when you attack, how does cyber insurance help you? It definitely is a needed weapon in every organization arsenal. Cyber insurance has picked up of late very a lot, and there are many organizations, many insurance companies that are providing that. This mainly helps you mitigate your financial losses. It helps you increase your security. It helps you because when you have to go and pay your premium, the higher the protected you are, the higher risk assessed you are, the lower your risk from your own standards, the lower the premium. If not, it is exactly vice versa. So definitely cyber insurance helps, and it's again, it's a very initial stages. So all these things are going to evolve. Yeah, but finally, I would always encourage plan.
Great. So another question to you, Ram, is Indian Petroleum Refineries Network saw over 3.2 lakh cyber attacks between October 2021 and April 2022. So what, according to you, are the possible reasons to witness sudden surge in this particular sector?
Okay, probably in 2022 we saw that many of the petroleum companies had windfall profits. Probably that might be the reason. But typically I don't see this specific to an industry. Wherever there is a sweet spot, wherever attacker thinks that, okay, fine, there is possibility of ensuring there is no security, there is an open system that is available, and I see that might be the main reason. However, there were in to answer your specific question, I believe there was a combined campaign that got ran from a social engineering using the social engineering approach. There were many campaigns, whether it is on the social media platforms like WhatsApp, or many phishing activities that happened. So I believe these are coordinated tasks. However, there is still a lot of investigation that is still going on, I believe. The conclusion is not yet arrived.
Okay, great. So coming on to Mr. Jyotivel, we are aware that with 5G around the corner, India is expected to see mass adoption of IoT devices along with a huge rise in cyber attacks. So what is your take on that?
See, 5G, okay, it may not be, very near, but not very far also. Okay. Now, as a sector, we already got 4G. A huge rollout happened from the private sector. Government is going to launch shortly from BSNL side. Okay. And 5G, I think first week of October, Prime Minister is going to launch in India. Okay, as a service. So the main take here in 5G is that, if you really look at it, the speed, okay, technology, okay. So the speed in which we converse, the speed in which we transfer the data, the videos, whatever, the services, is going to be you're going to see a lot of, a visible change, significant change in our business activities actually. At the same time, it is going to bring in, a lot of, network devices, huge network devices actually. Earlier we were talking about, botnet, okay, and IoT, okay. See, the same thing going to happen in a very rapid way actually, the attacks, because the number of devices. What is the main difference when you start from 2G onwards? You really see up to now 4G or 3G, whatever you talk about, is the applications and the devices connected to it actually. So it evolution for the devices, is significant actually. Okay, in terms of various applications. But when it comes to 5G, again, it is going to be multifold. Multifold. We are talking about cities to connect 3G, 4G, the cities. Now it's going to be entire state on a single platform. Let's talk about a CM dashboard. Okay, CM dashboard is what? Chief Minister of a state would like to know what's going on in the state, in a sector-wise, in terms of various requirements, applications. Okay, this is going to run. It's already running on some states, but with a very controlled measures actually. Okay, when it comes to 4G, 5G, he's going to see something like a screen, a big screen. There are a lot of activity at the Gram Panchayat level. Okay, that is a key takeaway here actually. So when it is going to do that, we are going to connect a lot of devices. IoT is going to play a huge role in these actually devices actually. So the attacks also is going to be like that only. When you have opportunities to grow, you get into this kind of issues also. So again, whatever cyber security measures we are talking about practicing, okay, all the hygienic activities, awareness, creation of awareness for this thing, everything plays a huge role here actually. Okay, so we are getting to a threat area, a huge threat area, definitely, and but I hope Ram kind of technological brain will make a good impact on preventing such huge attacks on our network actually. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, sir. So I think it is high time for everyone to do the SWOT analysis. Seeing the surge in the IoT, and actually the sector is booming. and it is expected to boom for another on a higher scale till 2032 or 33. So with all every time innovations. Okay, so we all hope and wish for a world where each day is safer and more secure than ever before. So my last question for both of you is how you wish cybersecurity for New India. So, Mr. Jyotival, if I can have your
Yeah,
answer.
yeah, definitely. See, like I was telling earlier also, good hygiene practices. Okay. When as a child, we have been taught something in the home, something in the school. Okay. My son is now, he has been taught a different thing actually. Okay. And he comes and talks to me something, why, why is it not like this? Why is it so? Okay. So these kind of, habits, a kind of, awareness should start from the, our school or from the home for the children actually. Okay. So what will happen after a few years is going to be a very, very comfortable hygiene practice for them to adapt. And of course, when you talk about government initiative, okay, so they have to create a lot of awareness programs. They have to create a set of rules, okay, to how to, uh, how these attacks are coming, how is it going to prevent that. All this kind of, it's going to be a social responsibility, okay. A government, public, it's a joint, combined social responsibility actually, okay. Once that happens, definitely, the very good practice is going to prevent us from getting into a huge attack actually. Or when it starts happening, so we'll understand it's definitely a cyber attack. Further, no, we will not, the damages will be coming down actually, based on our best practices actually. So generally, this is what I want to say. It is going to be a social responsibility. It is not only say governments, it's us also, okay, to know the things, get the awareness created, and it is going to be almost a safe world actually. Thank you.
Great. So, Ram, before coming on to you to know your views, I have a question here from Nidhi. The question is, can you please help us know some good firewalls that we can use for our home and business network? So, yeah.
So yeah, one of the one of the commonly used firewall for home users. I presume that you are using a Windows system. So Bitdefender is quite commonly used. Microsoft itself comes with a a tool called as Defender, which is also widely used.
Okay. So we will address to the questions very shortly. And before that, Ram, it would be nice to hear from you as well, your views on cybersecurity for New India.
Yeah. So it's not only for India. It's for across, because this is a now it's become a global problem, and since the economies are so connected, so interconnected, organizations are so interconnected, networks are so interconnected. So we need to look at a coordinated effort from an India perspective, from a new India perspective. Like Mr. Jyotivel said, the most important thing is awareness. So if we go back and analyze the data that we can look at, how did these enter into the network? If you see, majority of them are through phishing emails. So someone sends out an email with saying that, okay, fine, this is a mail from your boss, or a mail from your colleague, or a mail from your customer, and this is your invoice. So and most of the attacks are because of these kind of involuntary actions. So when we double click, probably some macro runs inside, and that's how. So we will not realize immediately. So it's very important that we need to maintain good practices. Just like how we have good practices for health. The same way we need to have good practices for our virtual world also, because this is also evolving. Yesterday it was a slow network. Today it is going to be in first, and in the US there are already 5G is already up and running, and in a few more days India also is going to go 5G. So there is going to be enormous amount of speed, data, and with the great power comes great responsibility. So everyone needs to take their own data and start taking care. One of the key things that I would say is, especially in the initial phases we were talking about an SMB. I will relate an SMB and an individual home or home network, etc. On the same lines, because of the cost reasons. Many of these organizations will not be able to implement or afford these kind of tools. So there are many basic tools that are available which are free. It's very well in the reach of the individuals or the small organizations to help themselves, and there are many frameworks, and there are many organizations, consulting organizations across the globe to help implement such solutions, definitely. And one last thing that I would like to say is, we should not look at this as an expense. We should look at it as an investment, just like how we take health insurance, because as in making sure that we are covered in case of any eventuality. The same way this also needs to be taken into account. The same way, if we are keeping ourselves very healthy, the health premiums are lowered down. The same way the company also is more healthy from a security assessment standpoint. The cyber insurance premiums also will come down. So my take for New India is pinned mostly on awareness. As an organization, I will encourage every organization to start looking into promoting the awareness aspect, external as well as internal. It's within the organization, and also spreading out back to the community on the best practices, on the good practices, and spend some time, call an expert, try to understand what's happening, how an organization can protect themselves in these times.
Okay, so I think through your answer, you have already answered one of the questions we have received from Mr. Anand Singh. He had inquired, like, what are the reasons of getting cyber attack and how common people can protect themselves from these type of attacks. So
yeah,
I think
like I said, sorry.
No.
Yeah,
please go
like
ahead.
I said, most important thing is identify what are the assets that needs to be that are important. Like your laptop, which has let's say you're storing all your passwords. Try to use a password manager. If you are looking at something on your bank logins, etc. Try to see if you can have a multi-factor authentication. not necessary that all of these are going to protect you 100%. There is nothing called as 100%, but they give you a much better arsenal for you to fight. So you're not going for a gun battle with a sword.
Great. So that was a wonderful session, basically. And it was so much interactive and meaningful that I'm sure we will be getting more and more questions. So before that, I request Vaishali to share her screen. And yes, it's the contest time.
Good.
So here, before getting on to the questions, so there is a quick announcement that we will consider the first received right answer, and the winner will receive $30 worth Amazon gift voucher. So the question number 1 is identify the logos.
Yeah, MasterCard. TSARO Labs.
So we need to get the answers in the chat box. So we are receiving answers from Anand Singh. We have 20 more seconds to go. There are 3 more questions, so don't you worry.
A flight company.
So here, let me announce the answer to the question 1. So Vaishali, if we can go to the next slide. Yes. So we received 2 correct answers from Mr. Anand Singh. All right. Moving on to the next question. According to the worst password list of 2017 and 2018, which comes on the top? So our audience has another 30 seconds to answer. And this is the most common password we still use. That's great. We have received the answer. Okay, yes. Yeah. Great. So yes, this time Nidhi was the first one to give the correct answer. Going on to the question number 3. So the answer is yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In SSL encryption, what is the full form of SSL?
You can use Google.
Great. Anand Singh has given the correct answer, secure socket layer. And coming on to the 4th question, cyberspace was coined by, you have 4 options, please select one of them. My apologies in advance for pronouncing the wrong names. In case, Richard Stallman, William Gibson, Andrew Tanbaum, or Scott Farman? Option B. Okay. Great. So yes, it's William Gibson. So we have received answers from Nidhi and Anand. So the final winner, I would invite Neha to make the announcement towards the end of the session. And with this, we now enter into the Q&A round. First of all, thank you so much, audience, for participating in this quiz contest and spending your time, sharing your time for this, taking out your time for this fireside chat. I'm sure it would have definitely inspired you or influenced you some or the other. way. So please go ahead and put up the questions for us. So Ram, there is a question that we have received. How will you know that what data attackers have corrupted?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, there is a question. How will you know that what data the attackers have corrupted?
Okay. In case of a breach, there is no corruption, most likely. It's only data, stealing or copying it to their servers. But in case of ransomware, you'll definitely see it very clearly that most of it is already encrypted, and you will not be able to use the specific document or the file, and typically there will always be an extension for any of these encrypted files with respect to ransomware. However, one thing is, like, if you really want to first of all, it's very difficult to identify if a file is corrupted, if it's just a breach. If in case, if you are able to figure out there are a few ways. You can always look at the integrity of the file. So that might be compromised. There are few tools that you can use that to check and validate. So does that answer?
Yes. Okay. Yes. So there is another question that how will you know when you were attacked?
Yeah, it's very difficult. Typically there are many ways of figuring out. If you're having a habit of monitoring, your system will become very slow because of there is suddenly you're having a lot of data transfer. Suddenly you have your processor is continuously spinning and there is continuous activity in your so you can go to I'm talking from a Windows perspective, and generally these are some signs your system will become very slow because of all these activities, etc. And most likely there will be unusual activity. Okay, something of the odd. There is you generally have some in a particular pattern, right? And it is off pattern. So these are signs that you can look at to understand, okay, something is fishy. It's not yet it's not yet definite that you are under attack. It can be an anomaly, but the thing is, these are some signs that you can try to figure out something. Basically, if you can look at the logs and if you can see unusual activity, then the first thing that you should go is check the logs, check your performance monitors, your network monitor, your disk monitor, your activity, where the connections are happening from. So all these kind of things are going to help you identify and help you go to the next level of your investigation if these are proven to be right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a question from Anand Singh. As Ram told, it takes around 60 days to detect that site is under cyber attack. Why it can't be detected earlier?
Well, typical reasoning is general human tendency. There will not be any activity. The moment you see some unusual activity, this relates to the previous question. The moment you see unusual activity, automatically you will start ringing the alarm bells, and you will start addressing it. The modus operandi of all of these attacks is stealth mode. So be quiet, get your access done, so that you are reaching to the respective data that you want to, right? Let's say, for example, you have some IP designs in a secure server, 2 layers down. So just because you got entry into the first layer, you will not have unusual activity, because your goal is not to breach. Your goal is to get something out of this particular breach. So typically, this is the main reason why the reason for such a long gap. And generally, in bigger the attack, bigger the headline, and bigger the value proposition there, and not just this, the attacker does not want generally to be identified, etc. Generally, any thief, right? So they always cover their tracks. So you will not be, or any the attacker will not be so visible to everyone, so that he gets shut down in the first few days itself. So that way he will not be able to get his goal. So they are also very highly qualified, highly technical people. Okay, highly knowledgeable, very smart individuals. These attackers are. So let us not take that credit away from them. They are very, very talented, very highly qualified people. And it's just that because they are smart, they're able to breach. They're able to find those gaps. And here in this case, it's always a reactive approach than a proactive approach. Yeah.
Okay,
Does
great.
that answer the question?
Yes. This is the question to Mr. Jyotivel. As an organization, what measures do we take to minimize the damage an attacker could do inside our network?
Yeah. See, as we were discussing, the awareness program, okay, there is going to be a continuous learning, actually. Learning on what is going on, what we are going to face, okay. And yeah, definitely, yeah, complete trained practice has to be inculcated in organization. One person, one executive, new executive, maybe through his mobile or whatever his system uses, because of his less awareness, may create an issue, get into an issue of a ransomware or any other attack, actually. Okay, so it is very much essential. The first step should be that to create an awareness and train the employees of the organization for this kind of attacks. So most of the things will be mitigated. Any mail comes, they simply open it. They simply click it, because if it is the mobile, we are careful. If it is an organization laptop or our web servers, mail servers, we don't care much, because we feel that okay, at some stage it's filtered and coming to us, but still they simply click on that. So these kind of things, it maybe looks very simple or silly thing, but that creates the biggest thing. First thing. Second thing will be see, at every level, our core administrators. You see, now we have a data center. Okay, now we support most of our clients, government and private, all these things. Okay, at that level also, there's going to be a continuous training and learning, actually. It should be a part of the system. So I know today how to prevent attack. That doesn't mean that no, every second something is getting created. Okay, so the continuous learning, continuous training prevents the most of the cyber attacks in the organization actually. This is my view.
Great. Thank
I
you
would
so
like
much.
to add, one more point there in addition to what Sir said. One of the most important thing, is it's not that the organizations do not have the, resources, or it's not that, if you see the Equifax, attack, it's basically because of a library that was not updated. And that to an old library. The update was provided by the language framework provider nearly about 6 to 8 months before. But the updation did not happen. So that became a loophole for entry, and that had a lot of damage that got that was thrown upon on a company of size Equifax. The same thing, Optus also, if you see, it's probably the most likely reason is a system was not secured using a certificate. So these are all very simple simple things, which are again back to what Sir said, hygiene. People should start understanding the importance of hygiene, start encouraging, start building awareness into the organizations, self, and I would always recommend top down approach, because cybersecurity, many times that we say, unless and until there are enforcements, there will not be compliance. Just like you sit in a car and you are forced to buckle your seatbelt, else the car keeps beeping, right? So some sort of mechanism has to be devised at the organization level, at the individual level, and at the state level. So only then we will be having much more resilience towards such kind of attacks, because mind you, there is technology evolution. Today we are talking about only the regular chips. Tomorrow we will be talking about quantum chips, okay? Quantum computing. So that opens up an entirely completely different scale of attacks. The kind of encryption that we have today will not stand even for seconds in front of a quantum computing system. So we definitely need to keep ourselves abreast with the technology changes. We need to always add to what needs to be done as a checklist, prepare a plan, and go forward.
I also wish to add some point in this. Okay, Ram. I wish to add a point actually.
Yeah, yes, sir. Please, sir.
Yeah. See, let us talk about a small use case.
Yes, sir.
See, Madam is asking about an organization. Okay, let's see about e-procurement. E-procurement software is there. Okay. Now what happens? There are so many bidders applying for the tender. Okay. And whatever the bidder's data is supposed to be encrypted, and even an administrator of e-procurement software service provider cannot see that. That should be the logic. Okay. I remember, maybe today also it may be there. I remember some 6-7 years back, when the administrator, he will be always available when the bidding is happening. He'll be monitoring how the system supports, how it's behaves, everything he'll monitor, administrator. You will not have any information. You will have only the bid information, that's all. You will not have any other information actually. If it is misbehaves, you will get information, alert, whatever is there. Now, the data, let us say I am bidder A, Ram is bidder B. Okay, we are submitting. It is coming in encrypted form. Okay, but it gets decrypted and somebody else is able to see that.
Yeah.
The administrator is not able to know because he thought, okay, I am a trained guy. I have a set of rules, set of alert mechanism. The system will pop up whenever some breach happens. So I'm safe. But many months this was going on. At one stage, it has come to light because of a complaint from a bidder. Otherwise, it will run for some more months. Okay, who claims that I have quoted a price? This is the price where nobody can match. That is a confidence level. No, he complained to the organization. Then there was a data audit done. It's very interesting, actually. You get a data log from the system. It should be in the data log format. Okay, this guy is taken, convert to Excel and give. What is the use of it actually? Anybody can modify the Excel. Data log should be as it is. What you get from a system. Okay,
Right.
Even that I'm telling you about. He's not doing it intentionally. He feels that is how I have to share the file. So this is I'm telling you one use case. And even today, I don't know, maybe there, I don't know. But we feel it's safe.
Yeah.
Country is procuring, every state is procuring every year at least 25,000 crores worth of tenders and materials they are procuring. How safe it is. So TSARO Labs kind of companies can play a fantastic role to do the system audit, okay,
Yes,
and give a recommendation. If it is implemented, definitely it is going to safeguard. We are going to as we are talking about insurance, okay, data insurance. So excellent idea actually.
Yes, sir.
So it is going to give us a foolproof system, and it should be a continuous mechanism. Let's say quarterly audit should be done, kind of thing actually. Okay.
Correct.
I hope that's going to be the life now.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's great. And with this, we have, I suppose, addressed to almost all the questions so far. And we are very much on time. And I would like to thank Mr. Rampanama Raju and Mr. Jyotival Silaya once again to join this particular fireside chat with us. And actually, you have shared a very good and very insightful inputs you have given with respect to ransomware and cybersecurity. So with this, I thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, audience. Have a nice day ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you for the
Good night. Thanks, everyone.